Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. US officials say the leader of the Islamic State group has been killed in an overnight US Special Forces raid in northwestern Syria. Special Forces and helicopters opened fire on a surrounded house in Deir Balut. President Biden and Vice President Harris both watched the operation from the White House. Earlier, Mr. Biden said that Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Qurayshi had been taken off the battlefield. Officials said Qurayshi detonated a bomb that killed him and members of his own family. The White Helmets Rescue Service said at least 13 people, including 6 children and 4 women, had been killed. President Biden said all Americans involved had returned safely from the operation, which he declared would protect the American people and our allies and make the world a safer place. Russia has condemned a US decision to send extra troops to Europe to support its allies amid continuing fears of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Moscow said it was a destructive step, which heightened tension and reduced the scope for a political solution. The Pentagon said 2,000 US troops would be sent from North Carolina to Poland and Germany, and a further 1,000 already in Germany would go to Romania. Russia has some 100,000 troops near Ukraine. It denies planning to invade. New Zealand has announced a phased reopening of its borders as the country starts to ease some of the world's toughest COVID restrictions.
Today I want to talk about the next set of changes that will take us a long
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the time was right for the country to open back up the borders slowly and sensibly. Vaccinated citizens in Australia can go home from 27th of February without needing to undergo state mandatory hotel quarantine. Jabbed citizens elsewhere will be allowed in from the 13th of March. One of the world's biggest container ships has run aground off the German island of Vangruj in the North Sea. No injuries were reported among the 30 people on board the Mumbai Maersk. A first attempt to tow the 400-metre ship into deeper water on Thursday morning by 2 multi-purpose vessels and 5 tugs failed. The rescue company said they will deploy a number of additional tugs and make a second attempt around midnight. Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic has met the Serbian president in Belgrade and told the media to be patient, saying he would comment on the cancellation of his Australian visa in the coming days. Speaking to Alexander Vucic in the capital, Djokovic said in the next 7 to 10 days he would publicly go into more detail with his version of what happened. The cancellation of his visa to play in this year's Australian Open sparked a diplomatic dispute and a worldwide debate on the rights of the unvaccinated in January. The ongoing closure of the highway connecting Sudan to Egypt by the Sudanese resistance committees of the north has entered its 9th day. Makeshift roadblocks have been set up and barricades erected along the road connecting the two countries, which has disrupted the movement of vehicles returning to Egypt with Sudanese livestock or goods. Protesters, who are mostly farmers, closed the road initially because the government raised the cost of electricity and forced the government to make a U-turn. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has launched a new fish farming initiative for farmers and fishmongers in Zimbabwe. According to the UN organization, aquaculture in Zimbabwe is struggling to reach its full potential despite the technical progress. The project is also aimed to improve food security and contribute to poverty reduction, as well as stimulate economic growth across this landlocked nation. In Zimbabwe, per capita, fish consumption is significantly below the average in other southern African states. And finally, the city of Rotterdam has confirmed it will dismantle a historic bridge to allow a super yacht built for Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to fit through. The luxury yacht, linked to the world's richest man, is currently still under construction. The vessel is reported to be 417 foot long and too tall to fit through Koningshaven Bridge. A spokesman for the mayor confirmed the plan to reporters, with Mr. Bezos set to foot the bill for the bridge. The move is controversial because the steel bridge has a long history and is now a national monument. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.